Welcome to my channel BBC Rare Coins. Today, we're diving into the history, design, and hidden secrets of one of the most iconic coins in American currency, the Jefferson Nickel. Let's start. Top 1. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin, a Jefferson Nickel from 1974, could be worth over $65,000? A coin that millions of people used without a second thought, tossed into jars, vending machines, and parking meters. Yet one specific version of this coin has become one of the most valuable and sought-after nickels in American history. The Jefferson nickel has been part of U.S. currency since 1938. Most are common, worn down by decades of circulation. But occasionally, a coin escapes the ordinary. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is one of those rare exceptions. At first glance, it looks just like any other. Thomas Jefferson's profile faces left on the obverse. His home Monticello stands proudly on the reverse. But this particular coin hides an incredible secret, in pristine condition, with sharp, flawless detail, especially in the steps of Monticello. It becomes a numismatic treasure. The term full steps is crucial. It refers to the clarity of the steps at the base of Monticello. On most nickels, these steps are partially struck, weak, or blurred due to worn dyes and fast minting speeds. But on the rarest examples, the steps appear crisp, defined, and uninterrupted. These coins are incredibly rare and command a premium far beyond face value. For the 1974 Jefferson nickel, finding one with full steps and a near-perfect mint state grade is like striking gold. One such coin, graded MS-67 with full steps, shook the coin collecting world when it sold for a staggering $65,000. That's right, $65,000 for a 5-cent coin. It didn't contain gold. It wasn't an error coin. It was simply struck so perfectly and survived in such flawless condition that collectors considered it a masterpiece. Think about that. A nickel that you or your parents could have spent decades ago at a gas station might today be worth more than a luxury car. These kinds of discoveries happen because most people overlook the value of small things. But in numismatics, the tiniest details matter: the curve of a letter, the shine of the surface, the number of steps on a building. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is proof of that. It's not famous because of a major historical event or a national shortage. It's famous because of scarcity and perfection. Only a handful of these nickels have ever surfaced with the right combination of condition, detail, and mint brilliance. And every time one appears at auction, it reminds collectors just how far a 5-cent coin can go. There's mystery here too. How did these few examples remain untouched? Were they pulled from fresh rolls, hidden away in bank sets, or discovered years later by someone who simply knew what to look for? No one knows for sure. But what is certain is this: their rarity is real, and their value is undeniable. Collectors search relentlessly for that perfect 1974 nickel. Coin roll hunters open thousands of rolls hoping for a glimpse of those perfect Monticello steps. Dealers keep their eyes open. Graders examine every detail. And all of them know that a single find could change everything. The story of the 1974 Jefferson nickel isn't just about money. It's about attention to detail. It's about history preserved in metal. It's about the magic of discovery in the most unexpected places. It reminds us that even the smallest coin, struck in the most ordinary year, can become extraordinary under the right conditions. So the next time you're sifting through spare change, don't overlook the nickels. Take a moment. Look closely. Because somewhere out there, in someone's drawer, glove box, or jar of coins, another rare 1974 Jefferson nickel might be waiting to be found. And it might just be worth a fortune. Top 2. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1981, a Jefferson nickel you might have walked past or spent without thinking, could actually be worth up to $59,000? It sounds impossible. A coin made of nickel and copper, worth more than most people's annual salary. But this is the true story of one of the most valuable and rarest Jefferson nickels ever discovered. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1938. Millions are minted every year, passed from hand to hand, thrown into pockets, and forgotten in drawers. But every once in a while, a coin slips through the cracks. Not because of gold or silver, not because of a famous error, but because it was struck with such perfection and survived in such flawless condition that it becomes a collector's dream. That's exactly what happened with the 1981 Jefferson nickel. Most 1981 nickels were struck quickly, in high volumes, with dies that were already showing signs of wear. As a result, they typically show weak details, especially on the reverse. The steps of Monticello are often blurry or incomplete. But for a very small number of coins, something rare happened. The strike was perfect. The detail was razor sharp. The steps on Monticello? Fully visible and uninterrupted. These are known as full steps nickels, and in 1981, they're exceptionally rare. Now, combine that rare strike with an even rarer grade, near perfect mint state 67 or higher. That's when the value jumps. One of these coins, perfectly preserved, with full steps and pristine luster, shocked the numismatic world by selling for $59,000 at auction. A 5-cent coin. $59,000. So how can a 1981 nickel reach that kind of value? It all comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and demand. First, the 1981 nickel with full steps is almost impossible to find. Second, one that has been preserved in high grade without any nicks, scratches, or wear is even harder to come by. And third, there are collectors who will pay top dollar to complete their Jefferson Nickel sets with only the finest examples known. It's not about the metal. It's about the miracle of survival. A coin made to be spent, forgotten, lost, yet somehow, this one avoided all of that. It remained untouched, uncirculated, sealed in time. And today, it stands as one of the most valuable nickels in U.S. history. What makes it even more fascinating is that these coins are still out there. They're in old coin jars, inherited collections, forgotten boxes from the bank. Most people wouldn't even notice. They'd see an old nickel, check the date, and toss it aside. But for those who know what to look for: sharp steps, clean surfaces, full detail, there's a potential fortune waiting to be discovered. The 1981 Jefferson Nickel isn't just valuable because of a mistake or a low mintage. It's valuable because it represents perfection in a year of imperfection. It's a coin that beat the odds. And for collectors, that kind of rarity is priceless. Imagine finding one in your own home. One coin, 5 cents. Enough to change your life. It's happened before. And it could happen again. So take a look. Go through your old coins. Look closely at those 1981 nickels. Focus on Monticello. Count the steps. Check for sharp detail. You never know. One of the rarest and most valuable nickels in U.S. history might be sitting right there, waiting to be found. And if it is, you could be holding a $59,000 treasure in the palm of your hand. Top 3. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel. A coin so common that most people wouldn't even glance at it twice. Yet in the world of coin collectors, one specific version of this 1985 nickel became a legend, a treasure, and a viral sensation, all because of its extraordinary rarity and perfect preservation. The Jefferson Nickel series has been in circulation since 1938. Millions upon millions are struck every year. Most are spent, worn down, tossed in jars, or lost between couch cushions. But every now and then, something rare slips through the system. In 1985, a handful of nickels were struck with such incredible detail and brilliance that they stand out from the millions of others. These are the coins collectors dream about, the ones with full steps. The steps on Monticello, the building on the reverse of the Jefferson Nickel, are the key to unlocking the value of this coin. Most 1985 nickels were struck quickly, using worn-out dies that produce soft, blurry details. But a few coins were struck using fresh dies with perfect alignment, resulting in sharp, clearly defined steps. These rare nickels are called full steps nickels, and in high grades, they are nearly impossible to find. Now imagine not just any full steps nickel, but one that has been preserved in near-perfect condition for decades. No scratches, no wear, just flawless surfaces and sharp, full detail from edge to edge. A mint state 67 or higher 1985 Jefferson Nickel with full steps is so rare that collectors will pay a small fortune to own it. In one auction, such a coin sold for an astonishing $55,000, not because it was made of precious metal, not because it was an error, but because it was perfect. Perfection in a coin that was never meant to survive that way. That's what makes it priceless. The mystery of how such a coin survived adds to its legend. Was it pulled straight from a mint set? Tucked away by a sharp-eyed collector? Hidden in a roll of coins that sat untouched for years? No one knows for sure. But what is known is that there are only a tiny number of these nickels out there, and they are hunted aggressively by collectors who are trying to complete the most elite Jefferson Nickel sets in the world. Think about the odds. Out of the millions of 1985 nickels produced, only a few have these perfect characteristics. And those few can command a price that rivals rare gold coins or historic silver dollars. It's a coin that proves you don't need a fortune to find a fortune, just the right coin, in the right place, at the right time. This is why coin roll hunters, collectors, And even everyday people still search their spare change. Because this kind of find isn't just possible, it's real. It's happened. Someone, somewhere, picked up a 1985 nickel and realized it wasn't just a coin. It was a $55,000 treasure. And maybe, just maybe, there's another one out there, sitting in a jar, lying in an old drawer, waiting to be discovered. So don't ignore your nickels. Take a second look. Count the steps. Examine the surface. Because the next legendary Jefferson nickel could be right in front of you, and it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Top 4. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1990, the everyday Jefferson nickel you might find in your pocket or wallet, could be worth an astonishing $53,000? It sounds unreal, but this is exactly the story behind one of the rarest and most valuable nickels in American coin history. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938. Most nickels from any year, including 1990, are common, worn from years of circulation and easily overlooked. But among the millions minted, there exists an exceptionally rare 1990 Jefferson nickel that has become a viral sensation among collectors. A coin so unique, so perfectly preserved, that it commands a price usually reserved for precious metals and historic rarities. What makes the 1990 Jefferson nickel so special? The key lies in the details, specifically the full steps on Monticello, the iconic building on the reverse side of the coin. In typical circulation strikes, the steps are often worn down, incomplete, or blurred because of die wear or fast production. But the rarest 1990 nickels feature fully struck, crisp, and uninterrupted steps, showing every fine line clearly and sharply. This is more than just a minor detail. It's the hallmark of a coin struck from a fresh, flawless die and carefully preserved, which makes it incredibly scarce. When paired with a high-grade condition, like mint state 67 or better, the value of this coin skyrockets. One such perfect 1990 Jefferson nickel with full steps sold recently for a staggering $53,000. Why does this happen? Because collectors don't just seek coins, they seek perfection. They hunt for those ultra-rare examples that stand apart from the millions of ordinary coins. This 1990 nickel represents that pinnacle of rarity, a coin that escaped circulation damage and maintained pristine detail for decades. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that most people treat as pocket change, but is actually worth tens of thousands of dollars. This coin didn't get its value from precious metals or errors. It earned it from surviving perfectly and displaying a detail nearly impossible to find on any 1990 nickel. The story of this nickel also carries a mystery. How did it survive? Was it tucked away in a coin roll and forgotten? Saved by a collector who understood its value? Or simply lucky enough to avoid the wear and tear of daily life? Whatever the case, this coin now holds a place in numismatic history and has become a viral legend in the collecting community. For those hunting rare coins, the 1990 Jefferson nickel with full steps is a holy grail. Its scarcity combined with its demand from passionate collectors drives prices to astonishing heights. And while the odds of finding one are slim, stories of unexpected discoveries keep the hope alive. Stories of ordinary people who stumble upon extraordinary treasures while sorting through change. So next time you find a nickel in your pocket, take a closer look. Check the year, examine Monticello's steps, and consider the possibility that you might be holding a rare piece of history, a 1990 Jefferson nickel worth $53,000. Because sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, right there in your hand. Top 5. It sounds unbelievable, but that's the reality behind one of the rarest and most valuable nickels ever discovered in American coin history. The Jefferson nickel has been part of the United States currency system since 1938. For most years, nickels are everyday coins, common, circulated, and often overlooked. But sometimes, a coin slips through the cracks, rarely struck, almost flawless, and carrying unique features that set it apart. The 1998 Jefferson nickel is one such coin. It may look ordinary at first glance, but in the world of numismatics, it has become legendary. What makes this 1998 nickel so special? The answer lies in the tiny details on the reverse side, the iconic Monticello building. Most nickels from 1998, like many other years, show softened or incomplete steps due to worn dies or quick production runs. But the rarest examples have what collectors call full steps, perfectly struck, sharp, and uninterrupted lines on every step of Monticello. These full steps coins are incredibly rare, and when found in mint state condition, their value skyrockets. Now, imagine one of these 1998 nickels, preserved flawlessly, with bright luster, no scratches, and razor-sharp detail. A coin graded MS 67 or higher with full steps is among the rarest in the Jefferson Nickel series. One such coin recently sold for a jaw-dropping $47,000. How can a 5-cent coin reach that kind of price? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. First, very few 1998 nickels were struck with such perfect detail. Second, even fewer survived in such pristine condition without a single blemish. Third, there's a passionate community of collectors willing to pay top dollar to own one of these ultra-rare coins and complete their most elite collections. This coin story is a testament to the magic of numismatics. The thrill of finding extraordinary value in something so ordinary. It's about paying attention to details most people miss and understanding that sometimes perfection in the smallest places can mean everything. The mystery of how these coins survive only adds to their allure. Were they hidden away in mint sets, forgotten rolls, or tucked in collections that remained untouched for decades? No one knows for sure. But what is certain is that the 1998 Jefferson Nickel with full steps is a numismatic treasure that has captivated collectors worldwide. The search for these rare nickels continues. Coin hunters scour rolls of coins, examining every detail, hoping to uncover another one of these gems. It's a reminder that sometimes, incredible fortune can be hiding in the most unexpected places, even in your own change.so. The next time you pick up a 1998 Jefferson Nickel, don't dismiss it as just 5 cents. Look closely at Monticello's steps. Count them. Check for sharpness and detail. Because you might be holding a $47,000 piece of history, one of the rarest and most valuable nickels in the United States. And that's a coin worth more than just its face value.